Good evening, Mayor. How are you? My name is
well.
Tony Ann.
How are you?
I'm good. So, about 5 minutes ago, you mentioned that it was un-American not allowing the migrants to work.
Yes.
There are thousands of New York City employees who were terminated over a vaccine. My question to you is, why are you still fighting us in court? It's not about the vaccine. That's over and done with, right? But why is New York City still fighting the thousands and thousands of us that are still out of work?
Are you Eric Adams? Yeah. You support the genocide in Palestine. There are homeless people all over New York. You're always partying. You don't actually care about the citizens of New York. Why are you even in Miami? You know there are people being arrested there. People are homeless in New York. People cannot afford food. You keep cutting the education budget so you can fund the police. That's all you care about, funding the police. Everything is underfunded because of you.
Trying to get holding the line.
All right, guys, so once again, we got to talk about Democrats saying the quiet part out loud about what they really think about minorities, okay? Comments that the mainstream liberal media is going to ignore, but they wouldn't ignore if a Republican said the same things that some of these Democrats have been caught saying about minorities. Like, for example, Kathy Hochul claiming that black kids don't know how to use computers, basically trying to say that black kids are dumb. This is a comment that came out the mouth of the New York governor. Mainstream liberal media swept it under the rug. Now, again, if Trump said something about a mugshot and black votes, oh, they're losing their minds, okay? They are having an existential crisis. Trump racist, okay? But again, when Kathy Hochul says black kids are dumb or said black kids are too stupid to know how to use computers, we don't really want to talk about it. And then we have another comment from Eric Adams that if a Republican made this comment, the mainstream media will be boohoo, whining, and crying racism, right? In which Eric Adams suggests that migrants could feel New York City's lifeguard shortage because they're, quote, excellent swimmers. Now, he said this after being confronted by the media on the lifeguard shortage in New York City.
We're almost at Memorial Day, so I was wondering if we could check in on how the lifeguard shortage are going. I assume the ocean beaches open Memorial Day, and then the public swimming pools open later. Are they going to be able to bring in youth swimming programs for the youngsters, or is the shortage situation still not fully staffed up yet?
Dear Joshi, you can go into that, but let me just take your imagination for a moment. If we had a migrant and asylum seeker plan that states those jobs that we are in high demand, we could expedite. How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers, and at the same time, we need lifeguards? And the only obstacle is that we won't give them the right to work to become a lifeguard. That just doesn't make sense. But if we had a plan that say you have a shortage of food service workers and those who fit the criteria, we're going to expedite you. If you have the experience that you are a nurse, which you have a nursing shortage, and we will expedite you. And that's the same with lifeguards. So we have all these eligible people waiting to work with the skills we need to fill the jobs, but we're unable to allow them to work because bureaucracy is in the way. That just does not make sense.
Yeah, so you see now, you heard that. Now, Eric Adams basically saying that the illegal immigrants are good swimmers would be interpreted as a form of racism if Trump was to say something like that, okay? Because there is a racial slur that I can't say that describes illegal immigrants, particularly from Latin America, that swim across the Rio Grande into the country, okay? I mean, that is an actual slur. And I think that, you know, Eric Adams here arguably could be playing up off of that. I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he isn't. I really don't care all that much about the whole racism angle to this. What I actually really care about is the fact that the real quiet part out loud that he stated was the fact that what they really want is for these illegal immigrants to be able to work. That's what they really want. That's why they're tolerating this current situation that is happening with the Biden administration, where they are refusing to grant more mass work permits, because granting more work permits would be a political disaster for obvious reasons. Okay, the main reason is because it would look really bad for Joe Biden to allow illegal immigrants to take the jobs of American people. And also it would incentivize more illegals to come into the country, which is something that Democrats want. They just don't want to do it right now, right? I mean, this is what is going to happen if Biden is reelected, okay? He's going to grant mass work authorization permits. He's going to grant mass amnesty. In fact, Biden's unemployment numbers are probably being subsidized by illegal immigration and some of these work permits that he's already granted. And this is why when you ask one of the Biden administration's officials about illegal immigration and work permits and how much this has contributed to Biden's awesome, amazing, great jobs report, they can't really answer the question.
Will you please disclose how many work permits you've issued? We don't know. The economists don't know. We also don't know what's the real numbers, because the Census Bureau has not accounted for immigrants properly. Can you give us a sense on work permits right here, right now?
Yeah, so I can't give you any specific numbers. I'm looking at the jobs market from this morning. You're looking at the same numbers. What we see is that the employment to population ratio is very strong.
Yeah, so once again, we have a Biden administration official not knowing answers to questions that she should know, right? Like, again, how many work permits has the Biden administration given out? How is this contributing to the so-called low unemployment rate? Again, how is this being handled, right? With the census and, again, this mass illegal immigration to the country, they don't know anything, right? And again, this is why you end up in situations where you're giving these work permits to illegals who have criminal histories, and then they go off and do things like commit acts of violence, or worst case scenario, they murder an American citizen, which is what happened to Laken Riley, because the illegal immigrant that killed her was granted a work permit by the Biden administration.
Nothing is done to this guy. He had a criminal record to start with. He's in the country on illegal grounds. You have falsely and illegally allowed him in. He commits a crime against a child. He's not prosecuted. It's expunged. In November, get this, in November, Ibarra files an application for employment authorization. And unbelievably, on December the 9th, 2023, it's approved. So this is your policies in action, Mr. Secretary. A criminal is permitted into this country on grounds flatly not permitted, flatly contradictory to the statute. He commits a crime against a child, and then he gets a work permit. He gets a work permit. You want to know why all of the jobs in the last 2 or 3 years have gone to illegal migrants? Working people in this country can't get a job. Their unemployment rate's high. Why? Because of things like this. And then what's he do? Well, we all know that in February, he commits the heinous crime against Laken Riley. Is this a record that you are proud of?
Senator, you've misstated some facts.
I have read from the parole file, which you have said you don't recall, don't have, you miscited. I'm reading from it. It is right here. And I've just, pursuant to the speech and debate clause, I have just read it into the record. And the reason is, you have lied repeatedly to Congress and to the American people about this. They deserve to know. And the only way they're going to know is if I tell them. I've just told them. It's in the record now. I've read it verbatim from the parole file. Verbatim. I just want to know, why did you change your story so often? Why didn't you just answer honestly to Congressman Bishop and Senator Britt?
Senator, I am confident that justice will be vindicated in the criminal prosecution of the case.
Well, hopefully he'll get more of a trial than you got. Otherwise, there'll be no justice for anyone at all.
Yeah, so best believe Biden definitely wants to give out these work permits, okay? He does not like these Democrat mayors begging him for the work authorization permits, but he's going to do it, right? He's going to do it literally after he gets reelected, right? That's one of the first things he's going to do after he gets reelected. He's going to allow the illegal immigrants to work, and then you're going to have mass layoffs of the American people and have them be replaced with the illegals. That's exactly what's going to happen. This is what Democrats want. This is also another reason why you should not vote for Joe Biden, okay? I'm just keeping it 100 with you because they're literally waiting to do that. Biden told these mayors, just wait until after the election. Wait till after the election. Wait till after the election. Right now, you just got to eat it. But after the election, they're going to pour a lot of funds into these Democrat cities that took care of these illegals, and they're going to reward them for doing the bidding of the Democrat Party. And a part of that reward will be to allow the illegals to work. That's exactly what's going to happen. And they're going to get mass amnesty. Okay? We're not going to be having mass deportations. We're going to be having mass work authorization permits and mass amnesty. They'll be staying here forever. And that's not something that we should be doing. At this point, we should not be allowing people to work. We should be doing mass deportations because this country's full. We just have too many people here, and we need to reevaluate our immigration system. And until our immigration system is fixed, and in order, again, we got to get rid of folks, right? We have to get back to a place of normalcy. But again, that's not going to happen with the Biden administration. In fact, again, they're going to make the problem even worse. That's what's going to happen. So, again, a lot of people will focus on, Eric Adams and his comment potentially being racist, but that's not what I really care about as much as I care about the fact that this dude is begging Biden to issue work authorization permits so that illegals can work jobs that Americans should be working. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.